Throughout time, there have been men to whom justice has been more important than life itself. From these ranks come 4 men, prepared to fight valiantly on the side of justice wherever the need may be. Joined together in this cause, they are the 4 Just Men.
For murder. There she is! Kill her!
What chance have I got?
I hope they try you!
She killed her husband!
I didn't kill him! I didn't kill him!
What's coming to you? Speech, Jeff. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, thank you. I give it to my students once a year. I wish they felt the same.
See you later.
Right.
Excuse me, Mr. Ryder. I don't suppose you remember me, but...
Of course I do. Robert Hill.
I was in your class of...
Medical jurisprudence. That was your hot subject.
I read you came down from New York to address a bar meeting.
Yes. Are you in practice here in Washington?
Oh, no, sir. In Maynard, about 50 miles south of here. I thought I should come up and see you. I'm having my first big case. I'm defending a woman on a murder charge.
Well, come on, let's have a drink and tell me about her.
The medical evidence shows that Henry Lawson died of strychnine poisoning.
Any suggestion of suicide?
No.
Why are they so sure the wife did it?
Well, Jean Lawson was a nurse working at the hospital. After the autopsy, they checked the dispensary. 10 grains of strychnine were missing. And that's an awful lot of strychnine. As for motive, well, he was a lot older than she was, and she got around plenty. At least that's the gossip.
I see. Do you believe she's guilty?
Well, I'm defending her, sir.
Well, you won't defend her very well if you believe she's guilty, will you?
Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about.
You want me to say to drop the case, don't you? Well, drop it. That's what you should do if you have no faith in it.
Well, it's not as easy as that, sir. A woman who plays around in a town like Maynard, well, people don't like it. I think if I dropped the case, no one else in town would handle it.
Why don't you move the trial to another town?
Because wherever we went, we'd still have to challenge the medical evidence. And that comes from the most important and respected doctor in the whole state, Dr. Chase.
And you feel you can't shake his evidence, is that it?
Shaking evidence is simple enough in law school, sir. But in Maynard... Well, thanks for listening to me anyway.
Would you like me to come down there?
Oh, I don't know, sir. Maynard doesn't like outsiders.
You come all the way from New York just for this?
No, from Washington.
I told you, they don't take to outsiders.
Don't worry about it.
This is Mrs. Lawson. This is Mr. Ryder, Mrs. Lawson.
How do you do, Mrs. Lawson? Won't you sit down, please? I'd like to ask you a few questions. Mrs. Lawson, did you ever have access to the strychnine at the hospital?
Well, they say I stole it, but I didn't even know where it was kept.
Mrs. Lawson, was your marriage a happy one?
Oh, yes. Harvey was always worried about me because of his heart. That's why he carried such a lot of insurance.
Could he have committed suicide?
Why, no. In spite of all the mistakes I made, he loved me.
Mrs. Lawson, can you think of anyone who would have wanted to poison him?
He couldn't have been poisoned. I was with him all that evening, the evening he died. Why, I fixed everything he ate and drank myself. I just can't understand it. I just can't understand it.
Thank you, Mrs. Lawson. I'll try to help.
What did I tell you? She's her own worst witness.
Hello. Is that Mr. Ryder? Well, you wouldn't know my name, but it's about Jean Lawson. The truth is, her husband wasn't poisoned at all. And Dr. Chase knows it.
Hello. Hello, hello. It was kind of you to see me without an appointment, Dr. Chase.
I've heard of you, Mr. Ryder. I'm only wondering why you've come to see me.
About the Lawson case. I've asked the defense to move for a change of venue. That means an appeal to the court here.
And you want me to endorse the appeal?
Well, it would help if we got the support of some of the most respected people here.
Thank you. But why do you want to move the trial to another county?
There's so much prejudice here against Mrs. Lawson.
There's always a lot of that in small towns, Mr. Ryder. It isn't always unfounded.
But prejudice means to prejudge, doesn't it? Our whole legal system is opposed to that.
We're all judging each other every day. And I really don't know whether our verdicts are so different, whether we make them in a court of law or not.
Have you already judged Mrs. Lawson, Doctor?
Mr. Ryder, Mrs. Lawson was a vain, weak, pleasure-loving woman with no moral sense. Are we not all bound to condemn her for that?
Hello. Oh, I'm so glad you could come, Mr. Samuel. I'm Mrs. Chase.
No, this is Mr. Ryder, my dear. Mr. Samuel won't be here until Monday.
Oh, dear. He was coming to prune the fruit trees. Oh, I did wish he could come today. Oh, well, you will have a cup of coffee anyway, won't you, Mr.
Ryder, yes, I will. Thank you.
Oh, that's my daughter Barbara. Poor child.
She married a doctor, Mr. Ryder. She's living in England, in London. Her husband, Anthony Cromer, has his practice in Harley Street.
I suppose you prefer he practice here.
Oh, yes, I would. But my husband is such an important doctor in Maynard. People look up to him so. Well, the truth is there's hardly anything left for any other doctor to do here.
Don't the other doctors resent it?
Oh, not really.
There was that terrible woman at the hospital, Helen Townley.
She was a doctor on my staff at the hospital. We had a slight professional disagreement, but it's all over and done with now.
I see.
Won't you have some more coffee?
No, thank you. I really got to be going. Thank you, Doctor. And I'm sorry I'm not Mr. Samuels. Dr. Townley, did you know that Henry Lawson had a bad heart condition?
No, I didn't. He was a patient of Dr. Chase's. And the truth is, Dr. Chase never liked me seeing any of his patients.
Why did you tell me Lawson wasn't poisoned?
I don't understand. The paper said it was strychnine.
A woman called me this afternoon at the hotel. She didn't leave any name, but she seemed convinced that Dr. Chase made a mistake about the cause of death.
And you thought I called you? But why?
I figured it might have been someone who had a grudge against Dr. Chase.
Oh, I certainly haven't got a grudge against him.
But you did have a fight with him, though, didn't you?
A long time ago. Just after Dr. Chase got back from England. From his daughter's wedding. While he was away, I admitted a girl into the hospital with a heart condition. I thought it was curable. But when he returned, Dr. Chase disagreed with me. He felt that it was his duty to tell the girl that her condition was hopeless. She left the hospital. And a week later, she killed herself.
What did you do about it?
I was a little younger then. I made a fuss, demanded investigation, and threatened to resign. Dr. Chase accepted my resignation. I'm glad he did, though. The truth is, I was unhappy at the hospital.
Dr. Townley, you'll forgive my asking again, but it was you who called me, wasn't it?
No, Mr. Ryder, it wasn't. But if you're looking for someone with a grudge against Dr. Chase, well, there's a woman in the South End. Why don't you see her? She seems to blame him for practically everything in the world.
What's her name?
She's known as Miss Joanne.
Thank you.
Mr. Ryder, if you're thinking of going over there, the South End isn't the nicest part of town.
And the girl, Miss Joanne?
I'm afraid she isn't the nicest part of town either.
Oh, Dr. Townley, the girl you told me about at the hospital.
The one that killed herself?
What kind of a girl was she?
I guess she was a terrible little tramp. She had no morals to speak of at all. But you know, the truth is, I rather liked her.
What are you selling?
I'd like to see Miss Joanne.
What about?
I want to ask her some questions.
What kind of questions? I'm her husband.
We're doing some interviews on a survey.
Sure. You're working your way through barber college. Oh, we don't want any.
Look, I'm prepared to pay $50 an interview.
It's not bad for just answering questions. Come on in. What would you like to know about what?
Oh, about the town. Some of the interesting people here. You might have some stories about them.
I got a story, all right. So let me see your $50.
And don't you go telling that story, Joanne. The town don't like it.
You keep out of this.
I was trying to help you out.
Yeah, you looked out for me fine, haven't you? I'd like some good store liquor for a change. Okay, mister. Here's the story. Nice legs, huh? Only one thing wrong with them. They don't work.
Don't listen to her, mister. Give him back his $50.
All the boys used to say I had right pretty legs, didn't they, Bart?
Yeah. Yeah, you were sure a real wild chick, all right.
What happened to you?
I got knocked down by a truck. Stepped off the curb. Next thing I knew, I was lying in the hospital. You know how much I got from that trucking company for crippling me like this? Nothing. That's what I got. Nothing.
Look, mister, you got your story. Now, good night.
Doctor at the hospital, he examined me when they took me in. He did some kind of test on me. He said I was drunk. Mister, I hadn't had anything to drink that whole day, but he said I was drunk.
Who was the doctor?
It don't matter.
Dr. Chase. Dr. Lion Chase. Right there in court, he said I was drunk. It was all my fault. If I got that money, well, maybe I could have gone to Washington and had an operation. Then I might have been all right. I might have been all right.
I want to make an urgent call to London.
London, Ontario?
London, England. Person to person, Mr. Ben Manfred. Here's the number. I'll be in the bar.
Very good, sir.
Yes?
Hello, Ben. Ryder speaking.
Jeff? You know, it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
I know it's 2 o'clock in the morning in London, Ben.
Well, I'm glad you do. But why are you ringing?
Not just to wake you up. I need some information. There's a Dr. Anthony Cromer on Harley Street. He's married to an American girl named Barbara Chase.
Chase. Right, I've got it down. Where do you want me to ring you back?
I'd better call you later this evening. No. Later this morning.
All right, bye, Jeff.
Well, you're just the fella I'm looking for, mister. Chief wants to talk to you.
What about?
I don't know. He said it was important.
Okay.
I'll follow you down. him? Yeah, that's him. That's that smart ambulance chaser from New York.
What's this all about?
You know what it's all about. He came to see Joanne, wanted to be her lawyer, wanted to open up that case again.
First you come sticking your nose into the Lawson affair. And then you go stirring up trouble with that drunk. Mister, what are you after?
Look, Chief, she's my wife. You tell him to stop molesting her, I'll...
Shut up. This is the DA. Now, what you go and see Joanne for?
About the Lawson case.
Okay, you can go. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, but...
Beat it.
Now, Mr. Ryder, what could Joanne possibly know about the Lawson case?
Nothing. I just think there's a connection.
What connection?
Well, they're the same kind of people, aren't they? Mrs. Lawson and Joanne. Now they're both being punished for it.
I don't follow you, Mr. Ryder.
Well, there was a third girl, too. She was told she had a hopeless heart condition. She killed herself.
Yeah, I remember that. Did it with a shotgun.
And there's another connection between them.
What's that?
They were all condemned on the word of the same man, Dr. Chase.
Look, Ryder, let's stick with one case at a time, huh? There's a lot of evidence against Jean Lawson.
Only if that strychnine was actually stolen from the hospital before Lawson died. And only if he really did die by strychnine poisoning. Nobody will question an autopsy by Dr. Chase in this town, will they?
You're an awful reckless man, Mr. Ryder.
Downright foolhardy, if you ask me.
Hello, Mr. Ryder. I got a message you wanted me to come right down.
Yeah. He's in town at your invitation, isn't he? Well, he's stirring up trouble. Says the medical evidence is a box full of lies.
But Dr. Chase performed the autopsy.
And you've known him all your life, and he probably took your tonsils out. But you still got a right to demand a second post-mortem.
Mr. Ryder, I'm going to advise Jean Lawson to plead guilty to second-degree murder. And I think the district attorney will accept that plea.
Sure, that's okay with me.
And is it going to be okay with Jean Lawson, too?
Well, sir, it'll save her life.
I never taught you to save anybody's life. Only to prove their innocence.
I'll make a bet she does plead guilty.
If she does, it'll only be because the lawyers run out on her. And she feels she hasn't got a chance against a town guard like Dr. Chase.
I think you better start driving out of here, Mr. Ryder, and heading back for New York. I'm not running you out of town because I want it. It's just that I don't have enough men here to protect you if the people of this town find out what you've been saying about Dr. Chase.
Looks like I really hit the jackpot when I asked you to check on Chase's daughter. Yes, it helps to explain a lot of things. I only hope I can stay around long enough to follow them up. All right, thanks, Ben.
You know what? He's trying to get Jean Lawson off.
What, that no good?
She's guilty, all right. Yeah, you know how? By throwing dirt at Dr. Chase. Dr. Chase? I'll bet that snooper's in there right now. Come on.
You junks!
He's been telling lies about you.
You're making trouble, Doc. This man has been my guest. Are you hurt?
No, I'm all right.
I feel ashamed for my town. I'm sorry, Mr. Ryder.
Thank you, Doctor. I didn't expect you to get me out of that. But it doesn't change what I believe.
All right, I'm coming. What happened to you?
I got mixed up in the lynching.
Who was it?
It was gonna be me. Now look, it was you who called me.
Why do you keep saying that?
Because you use the same expression over and over again.
What expression?
The truth is, when you phoned me, you said the truth is Lawson wasn't poisoned.
A lot of people use that expression.
Yes, I guess they do. Now come on, you've got to tell me what you know.
All right, I did call you. The truth is, Lawson was not poisoned.
How do you know that?
Because I once worked with Dr. Chase.
What do you mean by that?
In my opinion, he's a sick man.
You mean you think he lied about the autopsy?
I do.
And about that girl being drunk?
Yes,
And about that other girl's heart condition?
yes.
And always for the same reason. To punish them for the way they've lived. We gotta prove it. Have we got any evidence?
I've got no evidence.
Sure like to get into his office.
What for?
There might be something there. He's just crazy enough to...
I think I can help you. Still got the keys.
He's inside, Doc. Still slipping around.
Okay. Just leave him to us, Doc.
We'll fix him. Good.
You want us to get him? All right, boys.
Take it easy. That rider's looking for trouble. He's gonna get
This is hardly the way to repay a man's kindness, Mr. Ryder. Breaking into his office like a common thief.
Why don't you call the police?
I will if you can't give me a good explanation for being here.
When did it start, Doctor? Your madness. Setting yourself up as judge and executioner.
I don't understand you.
Even keeping a record of your madness. Not only lying to destroy unfortunate women, but holding on to the evidence of your lies. Even the strychnine you said Jean Lawson stole. All neatly filed away.
I'm not ashamed of what I've done to those women. They deserved their punishment.
Did your daughter deserve a punishment too?
My daughter is a good woman and a happy wife.
That's not true. You said she was married to a Dr. Cromer. I had her checked out in London. There is no Dr. Cromer. And you didn't go to your daughter's wedding. You went because she needed your help. She was in trouble. But you didn't help her. You judged her. You told her she deserved what she got. And you wanted nothing more to do with her. And that's why she killed herself, isn't it? In a cheap hotel room. I'm taking this to the district attorney. There'll be a second autopsy on Henry Lawson. It'll prove he died of natural causes, not poison. But you already know that, don't you?
I wish you a safe journey, Mr. Ryder. I won't come to your assistance a second time. And don't try to stop me. All I have to do is shout for help. Those men out there would never listen to any explanation from you.
I'm not trying to stop you. You're too late. Dr. Townley already took the important papers straight to the district attorney's office 20 minutes ago.
Dr. Townley?
She was here with me. I stayed to find this.
You call yourself a just man. You pass judgments, so do I. Is there any real difference between us, Mr. Ryder?
I certainly hope so, Dr. Chase.